Well, people say that AMLO will win the elections, but I don't think so. Even though he's the first one in the surveys, I think that he won't win because there are many candidates that aren't announced yet, and they haven't like set their proposals to the people, so we can make like a decision until we have all the stuff. And for example, when Vicente Fox, before he was a president, he was just an entrepreneur and he wasn't in the political party fund. He was just trying to invest because he wanted to see a change because of the government. It was being rigged. He did an investment and he invited like his friends and they were investing too. So the bank said, you know what, I will have you, I will launch you as a candidate. And when he was a candidate, he like broke the paradigm. He started like the alternancy in political parties, and that's the way he started changing things. And I think that independent candidates nowadays they can like make that change or go farther than they did before.
One of the most important problems that Mexico 2018 presidential elections will cause is the fact that of President Trump's treaties accusations against Mexico. But the real problem is that Mexico has not taken the time to make treaties with another countries. I mean, Mexico cannot be compared with United States because logically, well, is lower, and not only Mexico, any country. Mexico has to be compared with South American countries, but what happens is that the nationalism of Mexico leads it to believe itself to be a world power country next to those countries, and in some way it's giving them shame to make treaties with them. And thanks to that, Mexico is under pressure due to the possible exit of the United States from NAFTA and does not find out how to benefit from other treaties. Let's start with the North American Free Trade Agreement, the NAFTA. The proposed NAFTA was to remove barriers to the exchange to goods and services cross-border and to increase the competitiveness of all three signatory countries, Canada, United States, and Mexico, in the global marketplace. According to the newspaper The Balance, first, NAFTA put Mexican farmers out of the business. It allows U.S. government subsidies farm products into Mexico, and local farmers could not compete with them, and because the low prices. And as a result, 1.3 million farmers were put out of the business, according to the Economic Police Institute. It forced unemployment farmers to cross the border illegally. And what happens to that? Mexico go to the United States, and that people of Mexicans have children, and that children are dreamers, and that is a term now often used. And in 1995, there were 2.9 million Mexicans living in the United States illegally. It increased to 4.5 million in 2000, and probably due to NAFTA, the recession dropped the figure to 6.9 million in 2007. In 2014, it fell to 5.8 million. And as Mexicans lost their farms, they went to work in substandard conditions in the Maquiladora program. That is a program that uh, give the Mexican farmers some benefits, but not all because there are cheap labor force and it's very cheap for United States to Mexico workers, and there are 30% Mexico's labor force in United States, and finally U.S. companies degraded the Mexican environment to keep low costs. Uh, Mexico agribusiness used more fertilizers and other chemicals, and as a result, was 36 billion more per year in pollution. And rural farmers, the rural farmers farm is closed because of the environment, because the pollution about these chemicals and fertilizers that U.S. companies degrade in Mexico environment, and they could 100,000 hectares of forest per year. And in conclusion, Mexico is much bigger than NAFTA. Mexico needs to make treaties with more countries and not just depends on NAFTA. Trump says he wants to get out of NAFTA. That is a lie. He just wants to pressure Mexico. United States won't be out of NAFTA. They have a lot of advantage in NAFTA, and Mexico need to pressure United States, not United States to Mexico, because I mean Mexico is the lowest benefit of NAFTA, and these are just business for Trump. Trump in all his life is his way to do business, and Mexico needs to be one of the pressure him because it's the most damage of that trade and needs to improve. Mexico is bigger than NAFTA.
My opinion on the issue of the problems of the elections in the political campaigns of 2018 is that in these times people want a real change in Mexico, and so things change and finally there is a peace and less corruption to the people. On the one hand, we have several options, but only one can we trust or only not both good. One has to stay, and many people who are in high school and are in my same semester, and they will vote right now because they are 18 years old, and we can help to say to him or her what could vote. The evidence in these polls, but we can see it, is in the head, is in the statistics, in the news, and in the newspaper. And my argument finally is that AMLO would be the winner. Why? Because he is on the top and a lot of people are secure that he will win. And I don't know if it's the correct decision, but I await that really he will be a good president.
Statement is about a new vote. I'm talking about the 2006 elections where Calderon won by only 1% to Andrés Manuel López Obrador. He had 35% of the votes and Andrés Manuel had 34%. The percentage of the nil votes were by 2.71%, and this made the elections change in a drastic way that could change Mexico history in a dramatically way.
Corruption. What is the first thing that comes to the Mexican mind when you hear this word? The government, the elections, and political parties. That is a big problem here in Mexico because, if I can remember correctly, during the 2012 elections, the political party PRI decided to make a campaign for their candidate, Enrique Peña Nieto, and one thing they did was to buy the people votes by giving them gift cards for the supermarket Soriana. That was a dirty trick, because technically the people were selling the future of their country just because they wanted a gift card. That's something that happens in Mexico, and that's something that might happen again in these 2018 elections. It's a big problem for the country, but we don't have any idea what's going to happen. We don't even know if there's going to be some kind of corruption this time, because the candidates from nowadays have shown to be very competitive, and they haven't shown any kind of sign that they can be corrupt. That they can be corrupt